Welcome to our UCSP class. This is our module number 8 for week number 10. And then again, my name is Sir Rai Castillo, the Mr. Stark and Iron Man of Bansud Institute. And now for this module number 8, we're going to talk about the human adaptation to culture. For this, our learning objectives is we are going to understand the importance of human adaptation to culture and know how do humans adapt to their culture, and of course, in order for us to avoid cultural shock. We as a human are truly exposed to different kinds of culture. But the very question is, can you adopt the cultures we are still encountering every day as the society keeps on changing? So, how do humans adapt to culture? Let's talk about this for our module number 8. And now, let's ask this question. What is human adaptation? What are some kinds or types of adaptation? These are the questions that we are going to answer for this module or topic. Let's talk about human adaptation. Human adaptation is the ability of a human or a group of humans to change or adapt to better suit their environment. If you really want to fit in, to conform to a certain culture or society, you must adapt to their cultural system. You must learn to embrace it. You must learn to understand it. You must learn how to fit in it. So, kailangan natin na mag-adapt. Alright, from the word itself na adapt, ang ibig sabihin ng adapt ay talagang kailangan mong makibagay or sumang-ayon sa isang kultura or isang paniniwala or isang tradisyon. Lalo specifically, pag ito ay tinutukoy sa isang lipunan na merong iba't ibang kultura. We cannot insist our own culture to other culture if two cultures are different from one another. We can share, but we cannot intentionally enforce our own culture to them. In order for that, we have to adapt to them in order to be like them, to walk like them, to talk like them, but not actually them. So that's human adaptation. And there are different types of adaptation, include but are not limited to physiological, which means our physical outlook, yung ating pangangatawan, physiologically, the way the color of our skin, the color of our eyes, how we adapt to certain temperatures, to a certain community with a hot and cold weather, the way we look, okay? We know if we look like a Filipino, we know the certain traits of a Filipino. If you are a foreigner, you know the certain traits of being a foreigner. That's a physiological adaptation. Psychologically, the way we behave. Filipinos are different, do behave differently to other races like Americans, Europeans, or the English, or the Chinese, the Japanese. So psychologically, we do have a different kinds of behavior. And of course, the cultural adaptation. So there are a lot of kinds of adaptation, but at least we do not limit it to physiological, psychological, and cultural adaptation. But the next question for this, why do humans need to adapt? Bakit ba kailangan natin mag-adapt sa isang kultura? For example, nung tayo ay bata pa, ang alam lang natin na group of community or members of the community ay yung nanay, tatay, at ang iyong mga kapatid. Kung kasama mo si lola at si lola, at kung kasama mo dito tita mo at mga pinsan mo, at least yun lang. But as you grow up, ikaw ay na-expose sa different community. You will go to school with different kinds of people, with different kinds of personalities, at with different kinds of social status, and then with different kinds even sa language. They might speak English and you may not. Okay, so nagkakaroon na ang bata is natural na tayo sa human in general ay nag-a-adapt tayo sa certain culture. Because if we do not adapt, kaya yung mga bata sa mga first day of classes nila, umiiyak sila kasi nako-culture shock sila na hindi nila ma-manipulate or mag-familiarize yung mga nangyayari doon sa kanilang bagong community in compare sa kanilang community at home. So, in order for them to survive the school community, they have to adapt, okay, to the cultural system of that school community. So, parang ganun po yun. Sabi nga po dito ni Haviland, humans have adapted over the past for the same exact reason that any other organism adapts, to survive. That's the basic idea. If you want to survive, then you need to adapt. If you don't want to survive, basically, do not conform. Be deviant. Maging iba ka sa lipunan. At you go against the flow and you will not survive. Okay? And the ability to change has always been vital to human cultures. For adapting to different environments, shifting circumstances, and new conditions is a requirement for a long-term survival. Sabi nga ng ibang mga philosophers, the only thing that does not change is change. Okay? The community is changing, time is changing, society is changing. From a filial kind of society or personal society to what we have right now is the virtual society. Probably in my as I foresee it, magkakaroon na tayo ng artificial intelligence society pagtagal. Yung kung saan yung society natin is solely controlled or majority controlled by artificial intelligence, like robots, like mga si Siri, si Cortana, yung mga gaseta sa phone natin that they are doing the things for us. Okay? So, ganun ang maaari. Pero in order for us to survive from one generation to another, we have to adapt because society is changing and we should also need to prepare ourselves for that change or to that change. What are some different ways that human adapt? Take a look at the chameleon, alright? Remember what we studied before, the chameleon effect? Whatever his background, yun yung nangyayari sa kanya. Like this one, nasa background siya ng burger, nagiging burger din siya. Pag nasa background siya ng pancake, parang pancake siya. Pag nasa background siya ng pizza, nasa pizza siya. Pag nasa background siya ng halaman, parang halaman siya. So that basically how the chameleon works. Kapag ganoon din ang mga humans, we should prepare ourselves to adapt to different kinds of changes. Okay? Kaya nga hindi tayo forever na exposed lang sa isang certain culture. Time will come, we will be exposed to different culture and that different culture might not be appealing to us. So what we need to do is to adapt. Okay? Like for example, punta kayo ng abroad, facing different country, with different language, with different people, with different culture. Everything is basically new to you. So there are the three kinds of adaptation. Number one is immediate adaptation. When you say immediate, agad-agaran. Diyan mismo ay you are able to adapt. Okay? Kaya for example, you go to another place, okay? So, ikaw, makulit ka, tapos pagdating mo sa isang formal lugar, you have to be formal because yung pagiging makulit mo, might not fit in to that formal setting. So, ang tawag natin is immediate adaptation. So, kung ang community mo is makulit, there is a chance also na maging makulit ka because you have to adapt to that kind of system. Number two is genetic adaptation. Pag sinabi rin genetic, this is more of a science work. Okay? Na ito yung the way we look. Okay? That we got from our parents in genetic code. Our color, our skin, our face, even our everything about us. Na kung tayo ay nasa tropical region, siyempre yung ating genetic code ay automatically ay ready for tropical temperature. If people live in cold places, they also adapt immediately and genetically because ganun kagad yung kanilang genetic code ng kanilang ng katawan na they are ready for cold temperature. Not unlike as Filipino, sanay tayo sa medyo warm, medyo mainit, at slightly malamig sa atin pag umuulan lang or pag mayroon mga personal AC sa inyong mga tahanan. And number 3 is natural selection. At this is a Darwinian theory that as time goes by, people evolve, okay? And people evolve or creatures evolve which solely depends to how the nature works. Okay, so nagkakaroon ng evolution. Kaya kung si Darwin from unggoy ay naging tao. So nag-evolve yung unggoy from a speaking creature with a dependent mind independent mind na kayang mag-isip, kayang mag-interact, and or rational being na differs them from other creatures. Okay, so that's natural selection. Okay, so next one, let's talk about the example of human adaptation. Like for example, this one. There are different kinds of human adaptation. For example, dark skin, pale skin. Okay, so tayo mga Pilipino, we are not really contented sa ating skin color because we want to change our not dark, not maitim, but the brownish color that we have Filipinos by taking up products na maputi because the norm is today white is beautiful, white is powerful, and white is authoritative. Brown or black is inferior and probably according to them it's not really appealing. Kaya people want to change their color because that's how the culture sees it or sees it. Okay? At kaya genetically, of course, kung saan lugar, yun ang kulay mo. Kung ikaw ay nasa mainit na lugar, like for example, the African region, so people there are has a black color kasi yun yung kanilang yung init na temperature nila. Unlike to those people who are living in cold places, especially to those places with ice everywhere, ay puputri sila. Because genetically, they adapt to their environment. Another one is processing lactose. Ito yung gatas, okay? Not everyone ay meron tayong natawag na lactose intolerance, okay? Pag hindi nila kinakaya yung sugar na meron dun sa gatas. Minsan yung iba, pag inom nitong gatas, sumasakit kagad yung tiyan. Parang ako, when I take up water in Manila, ay at first, ako matagal sa Mindoro, sumasakit kagad yung tiyan ko sa unang araw. Kasi iba yung tubig ng Manila sa tubig ng Mindoro. Tayo kasi ay nasa alkaline, sila alkaline. Kaya what I mean by that ay yung ating tubig kasi sa poso ay potable pa. Okay, lately lang tayo nagkaroon ng mga mineral water dyan. Pero majority ng life ko dito sa Mindoro ay filled by the poso. And na meron tayo na potable water. Okay, dahil sa flowing, sa plaza, at sa bakuran natin na tubig. Okay, so kaya nag-a-adapt. Ilang araw pa bago mag-adapt yung aking sigmura doon sa Manila. Okay? And mammals actually lose this ability. Okay, so may mga ganong klaseng mga mammals with regards to processing lactose or milk nila. The cows, the goat, it depends upon their environment and of course their food intake. Okay? So how do humans adapt to cold temperatures? Like for example, itong mga taong ito na mga tawag nating Eskimo na nanirahan sa mga cold region, North Pole or South Pole, and everywhere there is ice. Okay? How do people adapt there? When people here in the Philippines cannot take or tolerate the coldness of the environment to different country at first, okay? Pero as time goes by, natututo din tayong mag-adapt. Pero sila, sa panganak pa lang ay dahil nga expose na yung kanilang body sa environment nila, nag-adapt na sila. Paano yun? Sabi doon, they develop layer of fat around their vital organs. So, di ba, yung mga matadaba, pawisin, kasi yung mga fat natin sa katawan ay nagbablock yun ng heat. Okay? Okay, so supposedly dapat direkta na, lalo pang uminit dahil makapat. Okay? And paler skin to produce vitamin D, and they are short and wide. Wide because they're not capable of sweating more because yung kanilang environment ay prohibiting them to sweat dahil napakalamig nga naman. Okay? Now, how do humans adapt to very hot temperature? Most of them are tall and lean, payat sila. At dahil nga syempre, sa init ay laging nagpapawis, okay? Yung hard labor nila, nagpo-produce talaga agad ng pagpawis at that cause them na maging payat lang. Okay, lean and tall. Okay, so dark skin protects from UV rays. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. At tayo mga Pilipino, when we want to make our skin whiter, ay nagkakaroon tayo ng ibang klaseng adaptation. Because pag tayo maputi ay umiiwas tayo sa mainit, umiiwas tayo sa araw, lagi pa tayo may payong, which normally hindi natin ginagawa nung tayo pa ay brown pa lang yung kulay. I experienced that before. It's really difficult to maintain the whiteness of our skin in this kind of region, particularly dito sa Mindoro na lagi tayo nasa labas. Okay? And this is cool to them because afro hair cools head. Okay? Yung mga buhok nila pala, kung sa atin naiindan tayo sa mga afro, pero sa kanila afro hair cools head. Siyempre, dahil hindi direct, kung ikaw ay bald kalbo, rekta yung init sa iyong ulo. Pero kung may afro ka, parang ang microphone, ay may nagbablock ng init ng araw diretso sa iyong ulo. So, kaya yung pala yung purpose nun. Okay? Next one, what are some examples of psychological adaptation? Okay, number one is the capacity to learn. Okay? Okay, so psychologically, if you want to adapt to a certain country with different language, psychologically, nag-iiba rin yung capacity mo to learn. Okay, if you have difficulty in language before, when nasa class ka, sa classroom setting, nahirap ka, pero pag nasa actual na, yung capacity mo to learn their language bumibilis because you are always exposed, you are always talking to people with different language. And you are forced to speak their language para makapag-communicate ka sa kanila. And then you learn different kinds of cultural skills like hunting, self-defense, foraging, and etc. Okay? So, yun yung mga lalo sa unang panahon. Okay? So, if you are in a place na you have to survive and you must do something. Okay? So, hunting noong unang panahon, di ba? Nag-innovate yung mga tao, nakaka-invento sila ng mga certain equipment to hunt yung mga animals sa environment, okay? So forest, field, okay? So dati pana lang, later on develop sa guns at iba pang klase mga trucks. At dahil doon sa cultural skills na na-develop as time goes by. Depende sa resources at depende din sa lugar and of course sa need, okay, of need to survive, okay? Ganun tayo, pag meron tayong survival mode tayo, sobrang bilis ng learning natin. And what are some examples of cultural adaptation? Another example here is the cultural adaptation is when an entire culture changes in order to survive, okay? Pag kailangan talaga ng isang certain community na mag-survive, then they do not have other choice but to adapt to cultural changes. Kasi hindi pwede. Like for example, ngayon, yung ating mga nanays at yung ating ibang mga lolas natin, di ba? Dati naman, hindi sila nag-cellphone, hindi sila nag-Facebook. But because of the society is pressuring them to do so, then kahit na mahirap sa kanila, nag-aaral sila mag-Facebook, nag-aaral sila mag-messenger, mag-viber, mag-video call. And even this during pandemic, kailangan mag-adapt ng different kinds of people in the society, particularly the students, para magkaroon tayo, and teachers, para tayo magkaroon na magpatuloy yung learning process natin. And mostly ngayon is through online, virtual, module, which is, this is not the normal before, but because this is the new normal, then we have to conform to the new normal in order for us to survive. as a student, as a teacher, or as a school. And everything that is happening to us right now ay nape-pressure tayong mag-adapt sa bagong kultura natin because this is something that we have to do in order to survive. Secondly, for example, the Chinese use chopsticks and smaller food pieces cook faster. Okay, so yung mga papunta sa China, they're not using spoon and fork, they're using chopsticks mainly sa kanilang pagkain, sa kanilang meals. So if you want to survive doon sa restaurant, you have to learn to use chopsticks because probably a spoon and fork are not always available there. Okay, so ang hirap nun. Talaga mag-practice ka. Anyways, let's go to physiological adaptation. Acclimatization to a high altitude. Pag umakyat tayo ng bundok, okay, so our body is not ready to adapt or not really into high altitude, okay? So, pero as we go up high, yung pressure sa tenga natin na napakasakit sa umpisa dahil pataas ng pataas. If you my first time in an airplane, ay sobrang sakit talaga sa tenga. Talagang hindi ko kaya yung pressure. But as time goes by, habang lumalayo ng plano, tuto kang mag-adapt. And even dun sa pag-akit mo sa bundok. Okay, sa una lang yan mahirap. And then pagtagal, ma-adapt mo na yung pressure and even yung paghinga. Okay, so bumabagal yung paghinga dahil hindi na ang pressure nga. And because of that, adapting to higher altitude, body produces more red blood cells in order to achieve homeostasis. Okay? Yung pagbabalance ng ating mga cells sa body in order for us to survive. Now, there is this so-called short-term versus long-term adaptation. Okay, from the word itself, short-term adaptation, maiksi lang. Okay, so nag-adapt ka lang to that certain time because kailangan mong mag-adapt. Pag nag-visit ka sa isang country, as a tourist or as a visitor, adapt mo yung kultura nila for the meantime. Pero pag bumalik ka sa Pilipinas, hindi mo pwedeng insist na bago matutunan ng kultura sa kanila, bago mong cultural exposure sa dati mong kultura. Natuto ka lang, na-expose ka lang, pero mawawala din yun. Short term lang, pansamantala lang. But they're also called the faster adaptation for temporary effects. Like for example, suntanning and weight gain or loss. Okay? So kahit ang sobrang puti mo, kapag ikaw na-expose sa araw, ang bilis ng adapt ng skin mo, bigla kang magiging pale, brown, and even worse, black. Okay? And even weight gain or weight loss. Okay, so pag gain ng weight, kapag ikaw ay napunta sa isang lugar na puro pagkain, yes, ang bilis mo mag-gain ng weight. Pag ikaw naman ay napunta sa lugar na puro extreme yung sports like hiking, climbing, biking, so ang bilis mo mag-loss ng weight. Okay? But for the long-term adaptation, it takes many generations. Okay? It passed down from one generation to another. That's the beauty of culture. It does not stop to one generation only, but it continues. Okay, meron siyang long-lasting effects. Okay, for example, sa malaria, noong unang panahon talaga yung mga tao sobrang infected ng malaria. And then, as a human adapts, yung ating immune system ay lumakas sa malaria. Baka yun din yung mangyari sa atin ngayong panahon ng COVID-19. For now, we are fragile, we are easily affected, but as our human body adapts, later on, parang sisiw na lang yan, wala na yan, kasi sanay na tayong may ganyan. Parang siyang magiging normal na lagnat na lang. Because that's how human works, and that's the miracle or the beauty of God creation sa atin, okay? And physical phase. Okay, so mga bagay na yan na long-term adaptation sa ating physical na anyo ay maaari din niyang magkaroon ng long-term adaptation. Basta yung mga bagay na mahaba. Okay? So on the other hand, kapag tayo ay nag-adapt, of course, hindi naman lagi tayong there's a chance that we are always 100% will adapt a certain culture kapag muna tayo. But most of the time, okay, like for you students, okay, when you take up college and leave your parents to Manila, or to other places na wala ang iyong mga magulang, or pumunta ka sa isang bansa na ikaw lang mag-isa. Like for example, yung mga magulang natin na OFW, hindi naman sila magaling nun, masaya sila. Okay? So, magkakaroon sila ng tinatawag nating cultural shock. Cultural shock. Okay? So, the word itself, shock, nagulat. Okay? Kasi hindi mo ina-expect na ganun pala sila. Hindi mo ina-expect na ganun pala ang makikita mo. Hindi mo ina-expect na hindi sa una lang pala masaya. But as time goes by, ay makikita mo yung struggle, yung sadness, yung longingness na bumalik ka sa dati mong comfort zone, yung dati mong culture, okay? So what is a culture shock? A culture shock is emotional and physical discomfort that a person feels when moved from a familiar cultural environment to an unfamiliar one. Okay? Pag lumipat ka ng ibang environment, cultural environment, na totally different from your culture, as I said earlier, magugulat ka. Bakit itong mga Amerikano na ito ay ganito? Napaka-liberated sila. Bakit itong mga Koreano na ito dito sa Pilipinas, hindi sila nalilito? Okay? Bakit mga bagay na yun ay nagugulat tayo? Bakit na ganyan na lang? Yung mga ganong tanong. Okay? So nagugulat ka sa nangyayari sapagkat una sa lahat, bago sa iyo yun. Or, yung mga nakikita mo ay hindi kaya-aya sa dati mong lugar. Okay? For example, galing ka sa isang family na sobrang ang babait, ang gagalang, talagang po and opo. And then kapag na-expose ka sa isang community na nagmumura, nag-aaway, nagbubulian, nagpupuntukan, makulto siya ka. Ayoko na dito. Okay? So, yan din yun ang normal feelings ng mga ating mga kaibigan, mga magulang, working abroad. Kaya gusto mo sila lang umuwi sa Pilipinas, but they cannot. Okay? Because if they go back to their normal or comfort zone, then their capability to earn more money or the opportunity ay mawawala. So, at first, culture shock sila. Siya, ano nangyayari? Diba? Kaya meron tayong mga tatawag na mga expression, shocks, anong nangyayari? Anong nangyayari? Shocks naman. Oh my shocks. Okay? So yun yun. Cultural shock yan. Okay, sabi nga dito, stressful period but transitional. So, magugulat ka, pero ito ay meron na tawag na transition. Okay? Magbabago nito. It's completely normal. Okay? Ang magulat sa isang certain culture na kakaiba sa iyo is normal. Okay? It's normal because you are not entirely familiar to that culture. In order for you to know that culture, in order for you to understand them, you have to adapt. But if not, you will be culturally shocked. Okay, patayin natin to. Para natin malalaman na tayo ay merong feeling of culture shock. Okay? For example, ito, isolation and frustration. Lagi kang mag-isa. Okay? Gusto mo laging mag-isa ka. At gusto mo ikaw, lagi ka naman frustrate. Tapos laging pagod yung isip mo, mental fatigue. Tapos lack of motivation ka, hindi ka na talaga mapursige na magpatuloy pa. Okay? Tapos irritable ka pa. Tapos buring-buring ka. Okay? Buryong-buryo ka. Okay, so irritability, lack of motivation, irritability, boredom are just a few signs and symptoms of being culture shocked. Okay, another one is seeking company from people of your country. Kung ikaw ay abroad, naharap ka ng Filipino community, namimiss mo yung adobo, yung tinola, namimiss mo yung mga Tagalog, yung mga Bisaya, yung mga Ilocano, mga Pansanginense, naghaharap ka ng kababayan mo. And then you are compulsive eating sa kadalinging. Lahat gusto mong kainin. Kasi yun yung mga comfort food mo. At gusto mo lagi ma-comfort. Ganyan. Sleeping ka lang, tulog ng tulog, sa hindi niyan. Feeling left out, feeling mo na, ay, hindi ako belong. Okay? And homesick. Okay? Homesick. Now, if you, kung meron kayong ganitong klaseng symptoms, if symptoms persist, consult a sociologist or your doctor. Okay? So, just kidding. Okay, so ganun po yun, culture shock. Yan yung mga feelings natin. In order for us to adapt, to avoid this culture shock, ito yung transition na sinasabi natin kanina. Number one, sa stage ng culture shock, pinatawag nating honeymoon phase. Okay? Kunyari ka nag-visit sa isang country, sabihin mo, wow, ang ganda-ganda naman. Everything is beautiful, okay? Maganda sa'yo lahat. Wow, ang ganda naman ng pagkain, ang ganda naman ng building, ang ganda naman ng mga ilaw, ang ganda naman ng mga tao dito, ang ganda lahat, okay? Everything is beautiful. Everything is ideal, okay? Everything seems perfect to you, okay? Upon arrival, and curiosity and fascination. Di ba? Siyempre, pag mag-tour ka, wow, ano ito? Wow, ganyan, yan. Pero, yan yung honeymoon phase. Diba? Ganyan na yung mag-asawa sa una talaga. Wow, everything is beautiful. Everything is romantic. Everything, kaya nga honeymoon na phase. Pero, as time goes by, nagbabago yung taste nila as a husband and wife kasi meron na silang familiarization. Okay? So, secondly is the crisis and negotiation phase. Ito na. Ngayon, kanina, ito yung exact opposite. Ngayon, everything is ugly. Ayaw ko na dito. Gusto ko na mo ayaw ko na dito. So, everything is ugly. Ang pangit na, hindi natin maganda sa'yo. Ay, ayaw ko na. Miss ko na yung Filipino food. Ayaw ko na ito. Sunod-sunod na ako sa mga noodles. Ayaw ko na ito mga mushroom. Gusto ko na ng kanin. Okay? So, una lang maganda. Pero, ito na, nagkaka-crisis na, nagkaka-negotiation phase ka na. Na-irritate ka na, and then nakakarap ka na ng iba't ibang kasi mga problema. Oh no! What's going on? Alright, and then number 3 is adjustment phase. Yan, hindi ka na. Ito, meron ka ng mga dilemma, may mga tanong ka na, or may mga options ka na. Everything is quite funny. I mean, quite funny, medyo masaya na. Okay, masaya, okay. Okay na yan, masaya na ako dyan eh. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let's fight better. So, ganun yung attitude mo. Alright, we just it again. Okay, it's normal. So, meron ka na tinatawag na acceptance. Okay, medyo tanggap mo na. Okay, bakit mo tanggap? Kasi you have to survive. There's a need to survive. If you don't adapt, and you continue to experience culture shock, then, the possibility ay talagang ma-depress ka lang, ma-anxious ka lang. Alright, so yung sobrang kalungkutan nagdudulot din ng masama sa ating pangangatawan. Okay? So kaya if you need to survive, ito na adjustment phase niya. And then there's a question na, should I stay or should I leave? Okay? So, okay na, saling na ako dyan. Should I stay or should I leave? And last phase is the acceptance phase. If you totally adjust, okay? And then therefore you are you completely accept it. Okay? The norms, culture, the people, the places, the environment, the behavior, everything. Accept it. Kaya dito, everything is okay. Okay? From everything is beautiful, wow, this is amazing, and then everything is ugly. And then everything, okay na, it's quite funny. Okay yan. And ngayon, everything is okay. Adjust ka na. Okay? As if normal na yon. As if kultura mo na yon. As if tagaroon ka na. And feeling comfortable, yes, comfortable ka na. And you're getting involved and make friends. Okay? Unlike kanina, pag isa ka, you want yourself to be isolated. Palagi mag-isa ka. Ganyan. So, na. Alright? So that's it for us. For the culture shock, meron yan apat na phase. First, again, the phase 1 is the honeymoon phase. Second one is the crisis and negotiation phase. Thirdly is the adjustment phase. And fourthly is the acceptance phase. So that's how we adjust or we adapt to a different kind of culture. Okay? In order for us to avoid culture shock, kailangan natin matutunan yung cultural adaptation. Okay? So, that's it for us this week. This is module number 8 for your weekly assessment. Here are the following questions. What you are going to do here is this is a given situation from 1 to 10, and you are just going to answer number 1 to 10 if this is cultural adaptation or culture shock. Okay, pili lang kayo. Dalawa lang. Ito ba ay culture shock or ito ay culture adaptation? And here are the following questions. Questions number 1 to 5. And post it. And play it. These are the questions number 6 to 10. Okay? So thank you very much for listening, class. And that's it for us this week. This is module number 8 for week number 10. Then again, my name is Sir Rai Castillo. For your contacts and questions, here are my following information. Feel free to contact me to this following application and my contacts. So I hope to see you again, and I hope you listen well to this module number 8 for this video lesson.